Guys, Março BKW aqui. Hoje estamos na ensolarada Burbank, na Califórnia, para fazer uma visita exclusiva para a edição do Motor Show Celebration, em uma das maiores oficinas de hot rods do mundo. Dá uma olhada. É, Hollywood Hot Rods. Vamos estar batendo um papo com a cabeça pensante por trás dos projetos incríveis que saem desse lugar. E também vamos estar mostrando alguns desses projetos para vocês. Já é? Tá curioso? Bora! Vem comigo! A gente está aqui com o Troy, a mente criativa por trás de todos esses projetos incríveis que são feitos aqui nessa oficina. Os carros únicos que saem daqui, saem todos da mente e das mãos desse cara aqui. Hey Troy, how are you?
Good. Good.
We're good. Thank you for giving us a little bit of time to talk with me and our folks
Sure.
from Brazil. Well, Troy, I got a couple questions for you. First, and I think really important, how Hollywood Hot Rod born and when it happens?
Okay, well, Hollywood Hot Rods as a company with the name and as a business is started in 2002, so like 18 years ago. But before that, I just did build cars as a hobby, and it was just passion and a hobby that I always did. So, very beginning, how I got into it was I was given a '66 Mustang when I was 16 years old. It was my grandfather's, my dad, and then he gave it to me.
Family.
Yeah, and I needed to go to school and to work. Like I was working at 16, so I didn't even know anything about cars. I didn't know that it was cool. I just had a vehicle to live, and I grew up fairly poor. Didn't have any money, so when it broke, the only thing you can do is learn how to fix it. So out of necessity, I learned how to fix it to survive. And then driving it to high school, and I was 16, 17. Found out that '66 Mustang is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So it was a good car. My second car was a '36 Ford 5-window coupe, 1936, and it was really cool. I didn't know anything about those either, but I liked the lines. It was cool. So it was just I liked it. So
That was in about like a 2000.
No, I'm not going to tell you when.
Way back
way
there.
more like 10 years before that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's weird saying now, especially in this season with all this thing going on, but that's when you got the virus.
Yeah. Like in high school, like 16. And everyone knew me at school as a guy in the Mustang. They called me Pony Boy because like the movie Outsiders. I don't know if you know that movie.
So after that, you got into a regular job. Then.
Yeah. So I did what you're supposed to do. That's how my family trained me. Is you go to school and then you go to college. If you're gonna get a real job like corporate and do all that. So I got a degree in business and I got a job in development, like contracting and development, so construction. so yeah, that was my business, like side, and that's not fun to work every day in a job. So I would leave the directory for my job. I had rented a garage close to the office where I work. So I just go from right at 5 o'clock, had like tie and everything, take tie, put on coveralls, and then work until midnight, 1 in the morning, and then weekends. I had another little shop that I rented a space from. I worked on a car there, and then I would take classes at the local college for like painting, body work, welding, so I would have a car there. So I always had places to work even because I didn't have a house or anything. So, like one of my cars, I ended up shopping in my carport of apartment, like with other cars.
Oh.
Neighbors didn't like it.
Yeah, I figured.
So that was the obsession, always figuring out a way to do cars. And then, probably 2000, I was just really, involved in that was before rat rods.
Let's talk a little bit about the projects. What's the base of your inspiration for your creations?
It's evolved over the years. Originally, so I have a different mix, which is good. I think it's a good mix. Originally, I was about going fast. I was looking at street racing, muscle car, my Mustang, even my 36. I ended up building a 400 cubic inch small block with, twin car, dual four barrels, and just it was about going fast. And then in the Southern California, like hot rod scene, the rockabilly resurgence and all that stuff in like the 90s, I got back to like more traditional, like combined like wanting to go fast with like traditional style. So those kind of where I started, which was cool because a lot of people I met, they just did cars because it was cool from style. They don't know, they don't know the automotive part. Me, I already knew the mechanical part and how to make things go fast and how to build. So then combine the technical skill of building with the more artistic style of like traditional culture and things.
Actually, your taste evolves like the hot rod scene, which starts just being fast.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
what
they
it
want to
was.
go fast. Doesn't matter the look if the thing is
It's true.
fast. And after they start to take care a little bit more about the looking of it.
Right.
So it's basically
kind of
the
the
same
same
thing what happened with you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And then for me, I also like innovation and creativity. I like to experiment with things and try things. It comes from the way I was brought up. My grandfather was an engineer. We used to do experiments and stuff as kids. So I like that. So that also twists my design because true traditional car builders build the same thing that you see in the 50s. For me, I don't want to copy what people do over and over. So I like the style, but then make some creative, changes. And then over the years, the artistic part has evolved into I like European car design and early sports car like Bugatti and things like that, and those are so cool. Like look at a Bugatti race car; it's as hot rod as you've ever seen.
Yeah.
So take some of that and put it into American. So it's I think sometimes American can get too
inside the box.
They can't think out. So so that's kind of how it's evolved over the years, and still we do cars that all of our cars have a story. Like a story, like every car has to fit because we don't only do a certain story. Like we can do, we'll do a muscle car like a Comet. We did like a 63 Comet. That's like more of a kind of a pro touring, a resto mod, but that has a story which is different than say like the 32 Coupe we're doing now that has a European race car story. So I think it's important you have to pick your design story. And fit it to the car and the customer and stick to it. That way you can do, I believe we do different cars, but they all still paint a Hollywood Hot Rods picture. Like you can still tell it, we did it, even if it's this 2014 Mustang we did once. We don't do new cars, but we did once. And I believe that car still looks like you could tell that we did it.
So it's kind of like you start with a picture owner for the car, like who's this guy who drives this car, or this girl who drives this car. A little bit,
yeah, what they're interested in to some extent. But most of the time, people come here that already know what our style is, so we don't get too away from it.
Oh, and having this as a compass, it's a good thing through all the changes that you usually do during the project. Like you can ask yourself, oh, this thing that I want to change will fit with the beginning of the idea. So in that way you can stick.
You stick but evolve at the same time. Because you want to be able to, as the car wants what it wants, we say. So sometimes you look at the car, it just needs a thing. So I believe you can let the car evolve, you can change it, but still stay on track. You want to change the design but not change direction. Maybe that's a good way to you can evolve the details, change the details, but don't change direction.
Don't change the story.
Yeah, don't change the story.
Yeah, that's a good way. See, guys? We do have another question for you, and this is a thing that actually it's something that we're facing nowadays. How do you see all these technology that are coming aboard in hot rods and custom cars in generally today, and how do you see the future of the hot rodding and the custom cars from now?
It depends on, there's different ways to use the technology. We just talked about how you design a car for a story, for a theme. So those rules still apply. So if you're building a traditional car, you can't put like LS or something in it, that breaks the story. But you can use technology in your advantage, because we have done, like my own Roadster many years ago, vintage, 392 Hemi, and it's cool, traditional, but under that I can hide fuel injectors and hide a computer under the dash so that I can drive the car and be cool. So I think that's what's neat about technology, is you can use it to solve problems, form and function. You can be cool and fast and reliable. Plus, of course, in the build process, there's ways to use like 3D printing and CNC machining, computer aided drawings. I mean, we do it here. We have a CNC machine. We draw parts, we cut it out, then we sandblast it and grind it and make it look old. 65 Mustang with a Coyote engine. It's
like the one,
the one we're doing here. And like, you can't deny that engine out of the box, the lowest horsepower version that your grandma would buy from the Ford dealership and drive is 430 horsepower out of 5 liters. So that's crazy horsepower based on technology. Because back in the old days, Mustang 302, what, 200 horsepower?
Something? Yeah.
250? If you could build a 302 to get 300 horsepower, you were like the king. Like, I know,
back there?
Yeah, I street raced a Mustang with a 289. So 430 horses was crazy. I have a new Mustang, has the same engine. It's like 700 horsepower, still reliable, passes California smog, never overheat, air conditioning. So like,
still 700
reliable, passes warranty. So that's like that. The technology is amazing, and that's what's so being able to integrate that into hot rodding is talking about where like hot rodding is going now and where it's going. There's been a big change, a big movement in car building for like actually using the cars, interaction. Like you take your car, before you take your car, put it in the car show, you sit there and dust it off and look at it. Now you go to the car show, they have autocross, they have drag racing, and that's the new, I think, push recently in hot rods and muscle cars is drive that shit. So I think all that technology is good. It's good for hot rodding, but I also I think we use it where you should use it properly. Again,
like the slogan that you guys have, right?
Respect tradition. Yeah, respect tradition, but not bound by tradition. So respect tradition, but not bound by it. So we want to respect it, but also, explore, innovate. Yeah.
Why does taste still in the same stuff forever?
Right.
Yeah,
even in traditional hot rodding, there's still room. So I think that all of those things about technology are really helping move us forward.
And about like high technology, you ever seen a electric hot rod coming?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it makes sense. We experimented with an electric chopper a while back. It was cool. I mean,
and you still think that there's room to respect tradition?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that. I think it would be a unique, artistic project. You can't call it a traditional car, but you could build like a 32 with a full hood, bias-ply tires. Yeah, and you still look like it and have an electric motor. I mean, make some people mad.
Yeah, probably.
But think about it. What's better for electric technology than a little tiny light car with low rolling, even bias-ply tires, right? Low rolling resistance, like all that helps your battery consumption.
It would be a beast.
It would be fast. So
that's about hot rodding.
Yeah, that would be fun. I think it would be fun. I always wanted to do one, actually, just because of the performance.
Yeah, me too.
So, I mean, forget those save the environment, because if you think electric cars are saving the environment, you are very confused.
Oh, yeah. That batteries come from somewhere.
Slave labor.
You're right.
And they destroy the earth and plastic and like petroleum, all the things. I don't want to get up on a rant. I just went on a rant. But all those Priuses are going to be in junkyards in 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
All these 32 Fords and Mustangs, they're not ever going to see a junkyard. So we're recycling. We less imprint on the environment than electric car buyers. So take that. No, I'm just kidding. But
Actually,
but performance is electric car performance.
oh yeah, nowadays the electric cars, like electric supercars, are already way ahead of a combustion chamber cars.
Yeah, or the combination. There's that Porsche Spider that's
Yeah.
a combustion and electric combined. It's like crazy.
Yeah,
It's cool.
Yeah, so there's no way to say that it's bad.
Yeah,
Maybe it's not like traditional, but
fast is fast.
fast is fast. I can't deny that. Well, Troy, really appreciate our conversation. Thank you so much. Like I said before, to give us a hi and tell a little bit of your story. It's really good to know about you, your company.
Maybe I'll come visit.
Yeah, you can tell them.
I'll
Brazil
come
guys.
visit. Just give me a plane ticket.
Yeah, Troy was talking to me that he someday maybe can visit Brazil and see the cars that we do there, because I told you before, like Brazil is kind of hidden on the
That's cool.
on the hard rod scene.
More outlaw.
And actually, we do have a lot of cool cars out there. You know, maybe
I'll come visit.
you're more
Yeah.
than invited for that.
Very cool.
Thank you so much, Troy.
All right. We'll see you.
See you later, guys.